What's up, guys? As we all know, plenty of current and former UFC fighters have recently competed in other promotions. Most famously, we have Armantsarukyan going against Georgie Poulos at RAF. Colby Covington has competed at RAF. Michael Chandler the same. Um, 2 weeks ago, we had Aljamain Sterling, Cejudo versus Uriah Faber. Plenty of current and UFC fighters have been competing. You know, we've got a few upcoming matches. So in this video, I just want to mention every confirmed match for current and former UFC fighters set to take place. Today, obviously, we have March 11th, Hype Brazil. Arman Sarukian is taking on Muhammad Makayev, former UFC flyweight, in a submission-only match. This one is kind of wild. I don't know what division it'll take place. I mean, these guys. Sarukian is a lightweight who walks around at like 180, 190, I believe. Makayev, like I said, competed at flyweight. I'm thinking Sarukian takes this one. I mean, Makayev has been active. He's been training. He was set to compete at RAF was it 07, I believe, or no, RAF 06, I believe. Pulled out of that match. I think Armin takes it. I mean, he's a beast. He's closer to his prime. Next up, John Silva versus Bryce Mitchell, another submission only match. This one is harder for me to call. I'm not sure who will win this one. I mean, these guys are significantly closer in weight. Bryce Mitchell's a great wrestler, but John Silva, his BJJ is pretty good, so I'm unsure who will take this one. I'm excited to watch the match, though. And then finally, we have Edson Barboza versus Shara Bullet. Now, this is another submission-only match. I think Edson takes this one. I mean, Shara, he's obviously a kickboxer. Not saying that he has no grappling, but that's not his strong point. I definitely think that Edson gets this one done despite the age difference. On March 28th, we have RAF 07 with Arman Sarukian taking on Georgie Poulos in the rematch. Highly anticipated. I went to RAF 05, got some footage of Arman Sarukian. I plan on going to RF 07, getting some more. Hopefully another fight breaks out. Hopefully no one gets injured, but hopefully I can get some good some action recorded. Also, Colby Covington is taking on Dylan Dennis at RF 07. This is an exciting matchup. I mean, I kept refreshing the RAF page to see if any UFC fighters would compete. Didn't see any. And I got the news of Sarukian versus Poulos. Immediately bought the ticket. And now Colby Covington is coming back to face Dylan Dennis. Dylan is definitely another guy that if he competes, some sparks might fly. So looking forward to this. This will be March 28th. And then this is April 10th, I believe. That's a Friday. It'll take place in the Dominican Republic. This is Jorge Masvidal's promotion, Gamebred Bare Knuckle, the Gamebred Bare Knuckle MMA tournament. He has one taking place April 10th. That's this one with different guys. He's got some heavyweights. I see some 155s in there. He has another tournament that's going to take place in early to mid-May in Miami. That one I believe is lightweight specifically. So I don't know if these guys in the middle, the 155ers, are supposed to be on that card, and they're just here on accident. I'm not familiar with those names, Landon Quiones and then Elias Santos. So I know Kennedy and Jaquani. I don't know Anthony. So we'll see. I mean, this one, Anthony Smith, former UFC fighter, Alexander Romanov, former UFC fighter. Plenty of interesting matchups. I think this is supposed to be a 16-man tournament. I don't know how that's going to take place. If the winner will end up fighting 4 fights in one night, bare knuckle. That's absolutely metal. This one will be free streaming on YouTube, I believe. Like I said, it's April 10th, one day before UFC 327. I'm definitely excited to check this one out, see how it goes. Hopefully some other UFC fighters get added to the mix. Muhammad Usman was involved and then pulled out for an undisclosed reason, so we'll see if any other UFC fighters get thrown in. RAF 08 on April 18th. So 1 week after UFC 327, we have merabdvalishvili taking on Henry Cejudo in a freestyle wrestling match. This one I'm excited for. This is where he shines, his wrestling. I know towards the end of his UFC career, he started to fall off. We saw he had a hard time against Talbot. I know he lost, but he had a hard time against him, came back, and then Talbot is up and coming, though. So I want to say this. I don't want to say that, oh, he lost to Talbot because for whatever reason. Talbot is up and coming. And then he beat Uriah Faber, who is, he's washed. So I don't want to use recency bias or anything, especially given the quality of the opponents he faced. But Henry definitely is a better wrestler than mixed martial artist. I mean, he's an Olympic gold medalist. Merabdvalishvili, though, he has advantages over Henry, including height, reach, age. I assume he's stronger. I don't have any way to verify that, but I'm excited to see this. I think Merab will take it. I haven't exactly seen Merab in pure wrestling. I know he's pretty good as a grappler, as a whole. He has some great judo throws. He's an animal, but when it comes to his takedowns, he has the most takedowns in UFC history. However, freestyle wrestling, I've only been to one event so far. The rules are very different than any other grappling matches I've watched. So, the way the points work, the scoring, it's very interesting. I assume because Henry is more knowledgeable and he's been doing it longer, he'll have the edge, but Marab is in better shape physically, so I would not be surprised if he pulled it off. And then finally, May 16th, we have Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano both making their MMA returns. They're coming out of retirement to fight May 16th on this Netflix first ever MVP MMA card. Francis Ngannou is also facing what was his name? Philippe Lins, a Brazilian fighter who was in the UFC. So at first, when the Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano card was mentioned, that fight specifically, I was excited in a way where if I have nothing else to do, I'll watch it. But I wasn't dying to see it. But now that Francis is on it, I have to see this. I don't think there's any UFC fight scheduled as of right now. Any fight, definitely not a fight night for May 16th. Actually, 328 was not announced, but they said Volkov will be facing Waldo Cortez Acosta in early to mid May, maybe May 16th. I'm not sure off the top of my head, as that was just mentioned for the first time a few days ago. But like I said, I'll definitely check this out. I'm excited to see Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano. They're both Neither of them are the goat of WMA. I think there are some better names like Shevchenko, Amanda Nunes. Who else? Shevchenko, Nunes. I like Zhang Weili, to be honest. Obviously, these women are different weight classes, but they paved the way for WMA in Ronda Rousey in the UFC. She is the original women's MMA fighter, and then Gina Carano in Strikeforce. So definitely some history there, some excitement, some legacy. It's a legacy fight. And then Ganu, absolute beast. Cannot wait to see him fight. I saw a few people saying this was a rematch between him and Lins. I looked on Tapology, looked on ESPN's website, couldn't find anything. Regardless, I'm excited to see this matchup. I like Ngannou. He's one of my favorite heavyweight fighters. I'm excited to see it. Hope it ends in a first round knockout. You know, Lins, I don't know a whole lot about him personally, so I am favoring Ngannou, hoping he wins. But either way, I just hope it's an amazing fight. Curious to see if MVP keeps doing MMA matchups. Maybe they pull former UFC fighters, try to piss Dana off. Maybe they stick to boxing with Jake Paul. Who knows, man? I hope this promotion goes well. I mean, hopefully it doesn't lag and freeze every 2 seconds like that Mike Tyson Jake Paul card. With that being said, let me know which one of these events you guys are looking forward to the most, which fighters I missed, if any, which matchups you think, how you think they'll go, etc., etc. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.